Hi everybody, it's Annette from the Art of Intuition, and today we are going to get into portals and opening up portals from within. Kind of have a bit of a lighter note today. Some of these videos can be a little on the heavier side when we talk about collapsing realities and building them back again. So I wanted to kind of lighten it up a bit. So we're going to talk about opening up portals and what that means. And where do we open up portals to? Where are we trying to go? You see a lot of people talk about portals and vortexes, and to me they're kind of interchangeable. Some people call them vortexes. To me they're kind of the same thing. But all our portals are inside of us, so certain ones you'll hear, and there's a zillion portals, and you can play around. And the funnest part about playing around with portals is playing around with what you can open, how quickly you can open some of them, and what does it mean? Remember when we open a portal, we still got to walk through the portal. A lot of people think it's kind of like when they hit a certain consciousness level and they get a big realization or they get a big epiphany and they're like, oh, I'm done. Whew, that was rough. I did it, I hit it. But they don't have it embodied yet. Until you embody it, you haven't cleared out everything in your reality inside of you also, because it's just you're just projecting it out. That is not that consciousness. Wherever you're not standing in your power, then you're not going to deal with standing in your power in every reality and clear it from the physical body at the same time. So a lot of times we activate a portal, we got to walk through the portal, and that could be a minimum to your process, even if you're giving it everything you got. Now, if we're kind of hung up on some of the stuff we have to do, we don't want to align some of these realities. We don't like the fact that we have to get rid of that, or we have to close out that reality. We have to maybe remove ourselves from certain situations because we can't stay in a peaceful place and be running out of the chaos anymore. So when that starts to happen, we end up kind of moving what word do I want to say here? We end up slowing it down a bit. Now there's also, TikTok. You can only slow it down but so much, and then the reality will collapse anyway. It's just how long. So like I said, it can be a minimum of 2 years of DNA rewrites, your body upgrading, your body purging, to actually get through that portal and get to that next place. So you could open up a portal to the mermaid realm, right? We're gonna play today. We can open a portal to the gifting realm. We can open up a portal to Atlantis. You can open up a portal to Lemuria. You can open up a portal to anything. And when you start looking at an abundance portal, you can open up a portal if you want to get into. It was funny, I was listening to something the other day and they were talking about mermaids, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to open up my mermaid portal. I haven't really played mermaid energy. There's a magic, you can also open up the magical portals and the rainbow portal. A lot of people want to see rainbows. So they open up the rainbow portals and they'll ask to see rainbows. And the minute they see the rainbow, they know the portal's open. You're going to start to correlate certain portals with certain things happening in your physical reality. There'll be certain times when certain portals open, okay, if I just open the portal to the gifting realm, if I just open my abundance portal just open, then there are certain things I'm going to do right now. Okay, because there are certain things that it's going to go a lot better because that portal's open. It's going to be smoother. It's time for me to do these things. And these are kind of markers we can set up in our reality to say, when is this portal open? Show me when this portal is open. How can I open this portal? Now, a lot of times you'll take yourself to different places because they will open up portals for you. A lot of people go to different sacred sites all around the world because they want to put themselves in that vibration to open up that portal within them. They're going to hit that vibration inside of them and open up the portal. So there will come a certain time where you don't have to take yourself to the actual physical place and you can kind of activate it within yourself anywhere. But for a lot of us in the beginning, we have to actually take ourselves to a lot of these places. We'll utilize people to open up portals because we can't hit it ourselves. We can't open up a portal to self-love. We can't open up that portal of love if we've never felt loved. So, and a lot of times we might hear different love songs play in our head, because you will hear certain love songs. You'll hear any song play in your head when different portals open. You can start asking, which song represents which portal to me? It was funny because when I was listening to the mermaid stuff, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. I want to open up my mermaid portal. I want to play with that. And sometimes that might be getting in the bathtub and just flopping my feet around. I kind of feel, and you start remembering. And that's another thing, when you start opening up these portals, you start remembering you start remembering when you were a mermaid. You might start remembering Lemuria. You might start remembering Atlantis, even though that's kind of a distorted mermaid, whether Lemuria is more of the pure mermaids. They're kind of opposites of each other, but different mermaids. You're going to start to remember those things. You can open up your galactic portals. There's so much stuff you can do, and you can ask your universe to correlate songs to the portals. It's funny because when I asked my universe, I was like, I really want to open up my mermaid portal. What is that? Even though I think I played with that before, but I started hearing the song. It started coming in my head, like Splish Splash. I was taking a bath, and I was like, I know that song. What song? That's an old song. I'm sure that's out of the 50s, but I knew that song because my dad was born in the early 40s. So it's like, I know that song. I've heard that growing up. I know that song. And then you just start remembering, you start to sing it. And then I listen to it. Usually when I get a song like that, I'll go listen to it on YouTube or whatever, and to kind of really get into it. I'm like, oh, I know this song. So you'll be surprised the songs that came through. Like, I would never have I haven't thought of that song in probably 30 years. And then it just started playing in my head. A Whole New World is a big song a lot of people will get when they start activating portals to New Earth, because you are really in a whole new world when you start really reconstructing your realities. You'll get that one. Don't Stop Believing is a big one for people. I know I get that one quite a bit when different portals are open for me, or George Michael's Keep the Faith. That was another one for me. When certain realities weren't aligning the way I wanted them to, I would get that one. So there's always going to be ways you can use the portals to kind of decode what's going on and really embrace the songs that relate to the portals for you. And there are going to be some songs I feel like are kind of like that nothing's going to stop us now song. You might get to that when you're in certain parts of realigning realities, when everything is lining up for you. And there's certain things you have to do. Even if no one else around you understands why you're doing anything, oh no, I got to go do, this is what I got to go do. I don't remember if I finished my thought on other people opening portals for us, but sometimes we get in relationships, it opens up a portal for love so we can feel more self-love. So when you start hearing love songs, a lot of people try to take it to the human love song, the Cinderella stuff. A lot of times that stuff will get reframed for you as just loving yourself. But sometimes we can't get to that ourselves if someone has never really loved us. So we need someone else to open up portals for us sometimes. We need someone else to show us, different portals, different magical portals. Really start to play with it. Go outside and ask to see a rainbow. Ask to get $15 to appear on the ground. Do whatever you want to do to play with the reality, and you'll be surprised. And you might not get it right away. I know some people get it right away. You might be sitting there for a while and be like, oh, nothing happened. Let me do it again tomorrow, and let me see. Let me do it again tomorrow. Let me keep doing it. Consistency really is the thing, because when your universe is teaching you to continue to go down that road, especially in the beginning when you still have a road over there you can kind of go back to. It's not like you completely closed out that road, but you get to a point in your process where that road has been demolished over. There's grass on it now, and it's not even, you can't even go back to it anymore. But there are certain times when you can. So I always feel like when we're kind of in that beginning, especially in that playful phase, we start playing around with different portals and start playing around with opening them up and going through them. A lot of times you might dream something, right? And I used to be more of an active dreamer. Now I kind of use it more for clearing. I usually would see a lot of stuff a couple years out in my dream state. Now I don't really so much need to see it in my dream state, so I use my dream state for clearing. It's not saying I won't hit something every once in a while, because sometimes I do. It's just not as prominent as it used to be for me. Now I can just see it when I'm awake. But when you first go to sleep and you see it, a lot of people will think, well, okay, so that's the beginning, right? I had a friend that would call it teeing it up, teed up the reality. As soon as I could see it in a dream state, I teed it up, which meant my consciousness had hit that reality. My body wasn't there yet. My body vibration wasn't there yet. Because if my body vibration was at that consciousness vibration, I would be setting in that reality. The fact I'm not setting in the reality means, okay, well, I have not hit that yet. I haven't teed this up yet. I'm teeing it up, but I'm not there. So to see it and get there, it could take, like I said, a minimum of 2 years, sometimes maybe longer, 2.5 to 3. That's giving it everything you got, doing everything you see to go get through that portal. You kind of open it up. But then you got to feel it too. You kind of synchronize seeing it and feeling it. Because when you're going through any of these realities, it's like the human realities where you can participate in them, but you never really feel them, because humans, we don't like to feel anything. You have to feel that reality. You have to feel what it is. You have to really you have to embody it, you know? You have to really get in that reality and feel it from every part of you. What does that feel like? You know, what do I got to do to get there? You have to sync the two. You know, if you just see it but you don't feel it, you're not going to be there yet. And like I said, it can still take a lot of time to get there. But at least you know where you're going. You kind of open the reality. Now you got to walk through the portal. You've teed up the portal. Now you got to walk through it. Clear everything that's not of that vibration, and you go through it. So the dream state is a lot of beginning. A lot of places you're going to open up portals, and you don't even realize that's what you're doing. Then when you start getting more conscious of what you're opening up, you can really start to have fun with it and play with it, and look at what you remember when you start doing it. See how long it takes you to get the rainbow portal open. How long will it take for me to see a rainbow? How long will that take for me to get the portal to open up? How long will any of these things take? So just have fun with it and play with it. And don't think it's weird when you start hearing all these songs in your head over and over and over again. And there'll be songs that are very obscure, you know, in the beginning. Like I said, I think some songs correlate to kind of all of us. We'll kind of all hear some of the similar songs. There are certain ones that someone might say, well, that's their mermaid portal. And for me, it was Splish Splash, I was taking a bath. That was my mermaid. That also told me, go get in the bath. You know, you're going to be able to really open up that portal if you go get in the bath. And it kind of reminded me of that. And I could kind of see that that scene in the movie Splash when I think it was Daryl Hannah that played the mermaid in that movie, when she got in the tub and she was able to get her fin back, and she would roll her fin out in the tub, because when she was on the ground she had her feet. When she was in the water, her fin would come back, and I could kind of just see that. So also listen to what the lyrics are telling you to do. Sometimes they will be telling you to do a certain thing. Put your body in a certain place. You know, it won't just be the song that's opening up. It'll be instructions in the song of what you need to go do to really open up that portal, to really embrace that energy, to really embrace that magic. And that's really what a lot of these portals are. They're for us to see what we're capable of. You know, how many infinite portals there are to open. You know, and you start to set up markers for yourself. I know there are certain places I'll be, you know, different. I kind of have a time frame of when certain realities a new reality is going to come online. Even if I can't see it yet, I kind of have a time frame that I've kind of felt and seen. I normally I don't talk about it because it's kind of not real yet. You know, it has to kind of anchor in. But I'll kind of see it, and I'm like, okay, when it's really time for that, let me find $20 on the ground. Which I've found $20 on the ground a couple of times. Let me just find $20 on the ground. Then I'll also know, you know, this reality is coming in. A lot of these portals will start to tee up these realities coming in, but we kind of can miss the portal because sometimes we're looking for the big thing. You know, we're not listening to the song playing in our head. You know, we're waiting for, you know, that big external sign. But if we don't listen to the internal signs, we sometimes will miss that external projection of that sign, because they're usually going to be subtle. They're not going to be the big hammer on the head, you know, you would get in cartoons. They're not that strong. We have to learn to pick them out and know what is a sign for you. A sign for you, it might not be a sign for somebody else. You know, that's why when we talk about a lot of this stuff, it's really important to connect in and go, okay, well, what's my mermaid song? Even for my guys out there, you can still have a merman song. You can still get into your mermaid energy and the magic in that. And there's a freedom in mermaid energy. It's just fun. And look at what you start to remember. You know, a lot of people say they remember being mermaids. They remember, you know, rescuing sailors from boats, and a lot of people will go, oh, that's kind of weird. I'm like, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun when you see how multidimensional you are and you really start opening up to that. So All right, I think I'm going to leave everyone there today. So, okay, open up your portals and keep practicing the art of intuition.